What's up, everyone? What if I told you that John, the beloved disciple, and Mary, the mother of Jesus, ended up in Ephesus, started a church there, where John took a shine to an ancient Greek philosopher from 500 years before his life called Heraclitus, and he paid homage to him in the very beginning of his gospel? Well, it's probably true. The Apostle John and Mary probably ended up in Ephesus. And we all know that Paul did some work in Ephesus before John and Mary ever got there. But Ephesus was a first world city. Average life expectancy, get past your childhood diseases, was probably around 70. They had hot and cold running water, pension plans, and a city of about 500,000 people, kind of the size of Portland, Seattle, Long Beach, one of those cities. So this was a first world town, a lot of good things happening there. It was a bustling urban center and one of the most important cities in the Roman Empire. Now, 500 years before the time of John, when he had his community of the beloved disciple there, probably, from which he wrote the Gospels and eventually the book of Revelation nearby at Patmos, there was a guy named Heraclitus of Ephesus. And he was sort of a curmudgeon, but a really insightful philosopher. His phrase was Panta, Rhei. All things flow. There is no such thing as existence, as being, he said. Everything is changing, and change is the nature of everything. And the word he gave to this was logos. And how does John start his gospel? In the beginning was the Logos, in the original Greek of his gospel. He's definitely paying homage here to his own townsman, Heraclitus, who lived 500 years before him and was quite famous, the most famous philosopher of Ephesus. He had some interesting sound bites. One of them is that if you are awakened, the awakened people, which he thought was a small minority of people, live in a common world. But those people who are asleep, which is the majority, live in an idios cosmos, from which we get the word idiot, their own little world. People who go through life sleepwalking live in their own little world, and they don't connect with the greater world. They don't connect with what is going on. Awakened people do connect with what is going on. Another phrase he had was, most people I meet are present, but they're absent in their mind. So I would encourage you today to show up, to be awake, to go through your day awake. Don't just go through the motions. Don't just do all the same stuff. Pay attention to what you're doing. Pop culture calls this mindfulness, but the Bible simply calls it being an awakened person, being a person who is fully alive, a person who pays attention to what is going on every day. And there was some truth in what Heraclitus was saying. He was saying that everything is changing, and my face is changing, my voice is changing, nothing is staying the same. You take a still picture, and that's not really reality. A video is more like reality. So as your day changes, as things go from incomplete to complete and back to incomplete again, pay attention to that flow, because everything does flow. John understood that all truth is God's truth, whether it's in the Bible or not. Mathematics is true, just as true as anything in the Bible. 2 and 2 equals 4. Those truths are there. Gravity, it's the law, one of those things. So I would just invite you to spend this day as awake and aware as possible. Don't live in your idios cosmos, your own little world. Live in the big world with everyone else and with the Lord who made this cosmos, this entire wonderful creation. That's the good news for today. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. It helps us get the word out, and leave some comments, especially if you agree or disagree. Let's get some discussion going, and share this video with someone who might find it interesting. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.